Alright, the Halloween display is about done. At least I'm happy with the current state it's in. I know a lot of friends have asked me to show how this display works, so I figured I'd do a little video during the daylight hours of how everything's wired and hooked together. So we'll start with the front here. It's rather easy. It's new this year. I had 2 arches last year. I added 2 more to make it 4. Plus I added those pixel poles in the middle. And it's all a new controller box and setup this year. So the pixel poles and the arches are all fed from this controller box. Let's see if I can get in front of the sunlight. The bottom here is the main pixel controller. It's a Falcon F4 V2. And I got a 5 volt and a 12 volt power supply in there. The pixel poles are all 5 volts. And the arches are 12 volts. So that waterproof power supply at the bottom is just for the arches. And at the top here is just a Renard SS8. Just to run some of the AC lights in the graveyard here, and the strobe lights. And the Renard just plugs into the Falcon's Renard output for control. So that's the front line this year. That's all new. Let me get this thing to close again. So the only thing that's running through my grass is power for that and the networking cable to feed it data. Then, let's see, now we move on to the house. So there's 2 main junction points in the house. One's right here in the front door is a box we'll go to in a second. And the other junction point is here in the garage corner. The roof line is new this year, at least the way I rigged it is new this year. I installed electrical conduit in plastic 3D printed clips. And then everything is zip tied to that conduit. So there's a bunch of pixel icicles. I think there's 600 pixels in those icicles alone, all 5 volts. Because of that, you have to power inject quite often. And even then, they're powered, 2 halves of the strands are powered in 2 different locations. So one power supply here feeds up to power these icicles till about here. And then another power supply here goes up to feed the rest of the icicles and across the front of the garage line. The Christmas lights up there are already up there, but I'm not using them for Halloween. And then there's a line of strobes as well, all zip tied to that railing. Here's the singing face. I guess I'll start with the garage. The singing face is dumb nodes, which means they're not pixels. They need a controller. You can see all the cabling for that face comes out around here and goes into my garage. And here's the controller in my garage. Here it's another 5 volt power supply, and then it's a DC Renard controller, and it's actually fed, whoops, it fell off apparently, fed by one of my Renard Wi-Fi adapters, so that's actually getting its data over Wi-Fi, as well as the LED strips around the garage. That's one of my Wi-Fi boxes right there. It also gets fed by Wi-Fi, and that's this strip right here that does the effect on the garage door. And that's actually my Wi-Fi access point right there that feeds all the Wi-Fi adapters. So that's the main junction point in my garage. It runs the face, and it also feeds power up to the roof line for the pixel icicles up there. Then let's go around to the front. So the main elements of the front are these 2 pixel grids from last year. Those are 38 pixels by 10 each, by 10 rows each, so 38 by 10, so 380 pixels each. And then for Halloween, there's my little singing pumpkin faces in the corner. The singing pumpkin faces and the strobe lights and a few of the other Halloween lights are fed by another Renard. I won't open this one. It's another Renard SS24 right here. It's also powered. It's also getting data over Wi-Fi. And then I'll kind of point out that my pixel icicles themselves, all 600 pixels are fed by Wi-Fi by my little ESP clone box right there. And that's what sends the data to the pixels and the icicles. And then what actually powers the grid is my original control box here, which has a 5 volt, a 12 volt, and a E131 board that I'm actually not using for Renard at all. I'm using it solely as a pixel driver, just for my my 2 grids there. There's a third one plugged in, I'm not using it at the moment. And then a network switch that actually splits the network that comes out of my house right here. So that's actually my network connection out of my house. comes into the switch, and then one goes to this board, and the other one goes out to the front lawn for the controller in the front lawn. And all the other communications is done over Wi-Fi. So that's actually how it works. It's fairly simple. You can see my path lights here. They're just regular AC lights, and they get fed by that Renard as well. And then you can see my my front line out there. So yeah, that's about it. So all my display is actually wired together, and all my lights are fed from one plug just for simplicity. And that's it right there. So all my entire front yard and all my lights fed by that one plug. And that's actually a little Insteon control box so that I can power cycle it remotely if I see a problem in my security cameras. So yeah, that's it. That's my Halloween display, and for the most part, it'll be my Christmas display as well. I'll just change out this face for the Christmas face. It's the same control box. I'll pull out all the Halloween stuff, obviously, and hopefully there'll be a big pixel mega tree right here. That actually has to be built, so we'll see if I get to it. But that's the plans for Christmas. All right, see ya.